All right, we got a lot to get into here in headlines because it was a good weekend for Houstonians. Let's start with the Cougs and the win on Saturday night. An historic win, 70-67 over the Duke Blue Devils. Here are the various times that the Cougs were trailing by certain amounts in this game. Duke led by 14 with 8 minutes and 3 seconds left in the game. At that point, there was a 98.5% chance that Duke was going to win that game, according to the win probability charts. Duke led by 9 with a little over 2 minutes to go. They led by 3 with 25 seconds left. They led by 1 with 19 seconds left. They led by -3 when the buzzer sounded at the end. 70-67, the final score. And Seth, the fact that, there's so many things to dig into. That Juwan Roberts is the one knocking down those free throws. A 1-and-1, by the way. Like, that he knocked down the 2 free throws after he got fouled by Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg went over the back. Marginal call, but we'll take it. Duke gets plenty of calls. They can't complain about anything.
And he went over the back. You call it, don't call it, whatever it was. Score some damn points, okay?
Yep.
You want to really complain. And I've seen, to their credit, I've seen a lot of Duke fans say, like, all right, people, like, settle the hell down.
Good,
all right?
good.
We don't get every call, and you got to score some points. 63%
free throw shooter calmly steps to the line and just drains them both. Hit the front rim, hit the backboard, rolls in. Like, he knocked them both down.
And it was everything that you would hope in terms of just Juwan Roberts in the second half being left alone with Cooper Flagg, and you don't have to shut him down. Cooper Flagg still scores 27 points on the night, but he did it inefficiently. And the final shot, Cooper Flagg gets it, and it's not an easy shot because Juwan Roberts has his hands up. And Cooper Flagg's got a history of kind of shrinking in the last final moments of some of these close games with Duke, and that's what he did in this one.
Yeah,
clanked it.
It was great because there were like the mistakes that were being made by Duke were across the board. You know, Knipple getting that layup blocked by JoJo Tugler with under a minute to go. You point out, Seth, Cooper Flagg not being able to do anything down the stretch in that game. Proctor dribbling a ball off his leg to turn the ball over, like to help keep the Cougs in the game. And on the flip side, you had L.J. Cryer, who will get acknowledged at 720 today because it was his shooting efforts when this game was kind of out of hand that kind of kept the Cougs within shouting distance. He was 6 of 9 from three-point land in this game. Emmanuel Sharp's three-pointer with about 30 seconds left to cut it to 3. And not just that with Sharp. I mean, Sharp had some strong takes to the hole down the stretch. Emmanuel Sharp is a tough kid. Tugler's block shot. Juwan Roberts knocking down the free throws. Like, everybody was in on the act with this game.
And then the 3 threes that they hit at the end of the first half, that was a huge, vital lifeline. Like, that kept them afloat at the very least.
Well, that's the thing Kelvin Sampson said after the game is, I think somebody, whatever interview, I can't remember if it was the press conference or Tracy Wolfson or whoever, but somebody asked him, like, what was the mood in the locker room at halftime? He said the mood in the locker room was like, we played like crap and we're down 6 to Duke.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So they were upbeat about their chances going into the second half.
And it was, we talked about it last week that for them to win the game, it would probably have to be a game that was in the 60s. Yeah. And it wasn't that game for the first, until the final several minutes. Yeah. It was a game that was going to be played in the 70s, and ultimately it ends up, 1 foot in, 1 foot out there. But very good. They played their game extremely well and made Duke look like a team that had never seen a press before.
That's right.
They were like, hey, what's this? Is this legal?
What's
going on?
Is this a torpedo bat? Is this a torpedo bat? Speaking of which,
ruining basketball, this is.
With this full court press.
What's up with all these athletes out here playing aggressively in the final minutes of a game? We're Duke.
That's right. The Astros yesterday, we haven't even talked about the Stros yet. We'll get to them as well in the 7 o'clock hour and in Acknowledge Me. But huge comeback win over the Twins. There's some good and some bad to get to from the Astros this weekend. We'll start with the good. The big question, Seth, will that Yordan Alvarez home run be the enema that unclogs his hitting efforts right now? Is this we've seen that we've seen that. I know it's a graphic analogy.
Yeah, I wish you hadn't put it that way.
Sorry about that. Will this be the Drano that unclogs the sink that is Yordan Alvarez? But he hits the home run, first pitch, 9th inning to tie the game up yesterday at 7, 2-run homer. I mean, and it was a classic Yordan home run, like second deck, first pitch. You knew it from the sound with which it hit the bat, that thing was gone. And this is what we typically see with Jordan when he gets in one of these mini slumps. He hits a home run, and then it's like, okay, that's the warning label for the rest of the league. Is we're about to see some classic Jordan, and they need that, right? That they're 4-5 right now, and they're getting such a horrible offensive performance from so many people. I feel like I feel okay about where the Astros are right now.
Jordan, this is where with Jordan, there's almost, I would say there's zero chance that he's going to be, as bad as he's been over the first couple weeks.
Agreed.
Look, when I was nerding up and going on Baseball Savant and looking at his ex-WOBA and all that, this is the worst stretch he's had in his career in terms of extended really bad play. So was that the moment where he turns it around? Perhaps. I'm just not overly concerned about him. I think the thing that I was most excited about this weekend was to see Paredes and to see Brendan Rodgers really get it going, and to see Altuve continue to do what he's been doing. He's been hitting very well. He had his first official error on Saturday, and it was a bad one. And yet, the vast majority of playing in the outfield has been good. With Altuve. Tracking the ball, some of the plays he's made in the gap, all of that has been very good. The one simple thing that he's having a hard time doing is taking his ball out of the glove. And in his transition to throwing, that big glove and some of the unfamiliarity of having to hurry throws in critical situations, or sometimes even on Saturday, it didn't need to be a critical situation. He's trying to take the ball out of his glove to throw to third for a play that he wasn't going to make.
Right.
And he drops it and you end up scoring a run.
Scores, yeah.
But by and large, he's been pretty good. That's his first official error. I think there was one that could have been chalked up an error in the Giants series, but still, I'm feeling okay with it, especially because he's hitting well. So far, the experiment's working out all right. If what you're trying to do is take a load off Altuve and allow him to still hit, then there you go.
Yeah, if he's going to hit 340 or whatever he's hitting right now, then you got to find a way to keep him in the lineup. The one scary one.
Okay, and we got to get to that.
Yeah. So there were two scary things with Altuve yesterday. The first one was the ball that he looked like he was losing in the sun.
Yeah.
And it hit. Thank God he had a big glove on, because it hit like the last two fingers of the finger part of the glove and just landed in his mitt. That was very fortunate.
That was dicey this entire series.
Yes.
It seems there are so many high pop-ups and fly balls where guys are having a hard time managing the sun.
What the hell was he doing in extra innings
so
on the base
extra innings? Paredes. Let me paint a picture for everybody. Paredes is up. Yeah. The Astros have a 2-run lead, and Paredes, who's 4 for 5 on the day. You got Altuve at second, nobody on first.
Right.
No real reason whatsoever for Altuve to try to steal. And yet, attempt to steal he did. It was thrown out easily.
Well, the only thing I could think of, there was one out at the time. And maybe he's trying to get to if he gets to third, then a fly ball brings you home, that kind of thing.
Right. You just smoke him if you got him.
But your first point was a good one, Seth, which is this guy's 4 for 5. And you got Jordan coming up after him. Don't get it out like the worst.
And they're hitting this reliever.
Yes,
they're crushing this reliever in this inning.
So would you rather just have 2 cracks at Altuve coming home from second with the 2 hottest hitters in the lineup? Because I'll remind you that Jordan's at bat before the home run, he hit a line drive to left field that Bader had to make a diving catch on, or else that would have been a 2 RBI or at least a 1 RBI hit. And so you've got your two best hitter coming up with you on second, but the better option was to try to steal third before the pitcher even made a move to home plate.
The thing is, where I give him a little bit of a pass is the aggressive base running paid off for him earlier. He tagged up from third on a play that was a super, super aggressive play, and it worked out for him by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
And I think it emboldened him just a little too much.
Win some, lose some.
Yeah.
All right.
He's also going on the nerd site on Baseball Savant. He's running slower than he has in a long time.
Altuve?
His actual sprint speed so far this year.
I don't like that.
He's showing his age.
I don't like that at all.
He just looked kind of rough this entire series. His hair was always disheveled. He's always got a 5 o'clock shadow, but it looked almost like a haggard 5 o'clock shadow.
Well, and then he's wearing shades all the time now because he's in the outfield.
He looks hungover.
And I think that adds to it as well, now that you mention it. it. All right, headlines real quick. We dug deep into the Rockets in the previous segment. If you want to listen, we've got the rewind feature for you. They beat two good teams over the weekend. They beat the best team in the West by 13 at home on Friday. They beat the hated Warriors, who may or may not be a playoff opponent. We'll see. We'll have to touch on that. The Western Conference playoff picture beneath the Rockets is super intriguing this last week of games coming up here, and it matters to the Rockets. We'll get to that a little later in the show. But they beat the Warriors last night, 106-90. Some NFL stuff we'll get to a little later. Colorado's Pro Day was this weekend. A lot of people talking about Travis now might have a surefire place he's on his way to in Cleveland. They're talking about that. And last thing, Seth, the favorite for the Chargers' opponent in Brazil in the opening weekend of the season is the Kansas City Chiefs. I know. I wanted you and I to make that road trip to Sao Paulo.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm stopping. I'm not brushing up my Portuguese until I find out for sure.
Yep. That'll be schedule be coming out soon, man. What's today? April 7th? Like a month from now, we're going to find out the schedule. It's flying by. There's teams that are starting their off-season workout program today. If you have a new head coach, you can start your off-season workout program a week ahead of time. This off-season just flew by, man. Draft coming up 2 weeks from Thursday, so we got that as well. All right, those are your headlines for today.